Hello and welcome to another Sitecore Stories. Today I'm catching up with Christian Hahn and he's going to be talking to us all about the Cloud SDK. So let's dive in. Okay, thanks for joining me today, Christian.
Thank you.
So before we dive into the Cloud SDK and what it all is, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Sitecore?
Yeah, sure. So my name is Christian Hahn. I'm nowadays technical product manager at Sitecore, mainly responsible for the developer experience in XM Cloud. And I should maybe talk a little bit about myself, where I'm coming from. That explains why I'm nowadays here. So I'm already in the Sitecore ecosystem for more than 10 years. I guess it's nearly 11 years. Started on agency side, really as a .NET developer, developing websites. Went on as freelancer with some architect work, consulting stuff, directly working for customers. Joined some years ago Sitecore as sales engineer and saw Sitecore again from another viewpoint, like directly from Sitecore in sales opportunities, worked with customers, worked with their requirements, built POCs, and doing all of these opportunities or all of these steps in my career, I had always a close relationship to the community, to the developers, and all of that, my technical background, and that I saw Sitecore from so many angles over the last 10 years. I ended up in here as technical product manager, like bringing everything together, trying to make the best out of developer experience for XM Cloud.
Yeah, nice. That's quite a rich Sitecore history then.
Thank
So before we start to talk about the Cloud SDK itself, can you talk a little bit about the problem we were seeing that caused us to build it out?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I would like to start with a use case. Like, imagine you're a developer and your customer bought Sitecore, like many products like CDP, personalized search, maybe XM Cloud. So the whole DXP stack, maybe. And you, as a developer, have the task to integrate that into your application. So historically seen, the task was to install maybe many different SDKs, because all of our capabilities, all of our products like CDP, personalized search, came with its own SDK. Like imagine the Engage SDK, the Search SDK. Cloud SDK is not another Sitecore SDK, it is the Sitecore SDK, which tries to solve all of that. So it should unify and standardize the workflow of integration and should speed up the integration time. Like it's only one package, it's only one SDK the developer has to learn, as developer has to deal with. And whenever you buy in with any further Sitecore product, like you start with CDPP and personalized, and afterwards you buy in the search, it's just another package following the same integration workflow, and you can just add it on top. That's what Cloud SDK is for. It's for an improved developer experience.
Yeah, nice. I think that kind of solves the problem pretty well then.
Oh, yes.
So I guess, have you got a demo for us? Can we see this in action?
Yes, of course. I would say Cloud SDK is a pretty technical topic. So I assume it's more a technical audience who is watching. So what I did was preparing a very simple demo site. You see, and you might have seen that already a few times because it's a Next.js application. It's working on App Router. It's using Tailwind library for styling. It's a pretty static website, like static content, just to demonstrate what we can do with Cloud SDK. So all of the functionality I will show in the next minutes is powered fully and purely by Cloud SDK. Saying that, I would love to go and just reload the page to have a fresh start. So what you see at the top, you have some little eye icons. Eye icon indicate now in the demo something is happening. So if I click on that, something will happen. And as you are technical now, and if the audience are technical, you will see on the left-hand side what exactly is happening. So let me browse a little bit through. So we have some kind of hero banner, some kind of feature teaser, some kind of card teaser. We have a little bit of registration form. So all kind of different modules which are available. And what I can do, let me start with just browsing around a little bit. And you see, while browsing around, we have all these events. If you're familiar with CDP, it will look like a standard event, like what we are sending to track a standard view event. I can go on with contact form. It's the same. Contact form in my case is a little special case because now I'm scrolling down, and just once I hit the form, you saw this event popping up, and the event tells us, okay, I now viewed the form. So it's not really a submit. For the demo, it's enough to just send the form. And if I'm sending the form, give me the submit event. So you see I submitted the form. It says thank you for submission. And I can go on with news area. I can go on with home page. So all of that pretty much working. I can send custom events. That's also pretty nice. Like I can go on down here. Again, a little eye icon. We have, again, an event, which is more or less a card clicked event. So all of the available functionality, like sending view events, click events, form events, as well as identify events, are fully supported by our Cloud SDK. So let me also demonstrate that. I will identify now with some of my address I'm always using for a demo. So I submit it. You see the last event is now an identity event. I am now identified against my system. And let me just load the page again. And before I switch to the CDP part to really see events arrived there, let me now scroll down a little bit, and you see the teaser changed. That's because we have personalization enabled. It is interactive personalization, again, fully powered by Cloud SDK. And you see I'm able to display my name, first name, last name, email address, my number of sessions, which is pretty high because I'm testing a lot. But you see, I can really react. I can track everything. I can personalize. We can even do A/B testing. That's all no problem. Moving on to the CDP part. The CDP part is pretty standard. You see, now a minute ago, I have a session. That's because I identified. Before that, I was a visitor. Because of my identification, I am now a customer. Clicking on the customer, you see all kind of data fed by Cloud SDK. Not Engage, not REST APIs. It's purely Cloud SDK. So we have a decent amount of desktop visits and mobile visits. That's all me, just trying out my demo, testing my demo. And if I have a look at my timeline, you see I have an open session. That's really my session. And you see, if I examine the session, it's all the events I showed earlier in the browser tab, like my view events of search page, home page, news page, all of that. You see the form events, like form viewed and form clicked, really like, you see it is viewed, and shortly after that it was submitted. So like we click submit button. We have our custom event like card button clicked, also arrived in the CDP, as well as the identification. And after identification, we see also that the experience ran. Like it ran before, but it didn't trigger because I was not identified. After that, it ran again, but it identified myself. So because I was identified, it changed the teaser. So all of that is available. It's there. It's fully working. And the nice thing now, you can use all of these analytic data to activate it. Coming back to the demo. So last piece. In the current version of our Cloud SDK, we not only support tracking and personalization, we also support search. So I have a little search page in here. Let me clear a little bit the tab in here. Let me click again. So you really see some search events, like scrolling down a little bit. I just indexed with Sitecore Search my whole website. It's consisting of 6 pages. And I have little different tags like content, news, and search. I can also do a full text search, like doing something like this. It corrects me and suggests me, okay, did you maybe mean this? Sure, I can try it. And yes, that's a result. I can even go back and just see all of my results. I can facet, I can filter, I can get recommendations based on my visits. And you see, while doing the search events, so like really executing search, we also have really tracking events from our search while interacting. So if I click on a result, it will track the click and all of that. That's nearly everything I would like to show today.
That's awesome. So I know there is a Search SDK as well. Would you use the Search SDK to build your UI, then the Cloud SDK to handle the analytics? Would they work together, or does the Cloud SDK replace the Search one in this scenario?
Yeah, in the end, the Cloud SDK will replace the Search SDK as soon as they are feature parts. So nowadays we have the basic functionality like search, recommendations, all of that. But we know there are out-of-the-box UI components, which are at the moment just available in the search package, but not in the Cloud SDK. Our recommendation is use the Cloud SDK as soon as possible if it fits for you. But we will constantly develop more features into the Cloud SDK, like we did in the Engage SDK. Like this one is feature par. There, the recommendation is clearly use the Cloud SDK over the Engage SDK. For search, it will be nearly the same in the future.
Awesome. This is really cool. I guess to finish up, if anyone has any questions around the Cloud SDK, what's the best way to get hold of you?
So I mean, basically, you can reach me via Slack, via email. That's no problem. I'm there. I'm always watching the Slack space. I read my emails, and in the official docs, you can put feedback in. Like in the end, we have always a feedback tab. Like if you need something, you can reach out, and we're actively seeking for feedback.
That's great. Well, thanks for joining me today, Christian. Hopefully we get to speak again soon.
Right. Thank you.